Hello, and welcome to this unboxing for a prize donated by Panda Game Manufacturing. We're joined by Jay Bell, who is a pre-press specialist at, I'm saying that title right, at Panda,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
can go through these toolkit unboxings with us. So it's a little, I can imagine seeing the picture of the prize or the description of the prize might be like, exactly what am I getting? It's a bundle of toolkits. So two people will each get 3 toolkits in a bundle that are 3 different kinds of sets of components that Panda sends out as samples. That's basically what a toolkit is, right?
yeah.
So I received these after we talked about you wanting to donate them and was getting ready to kind of open them and think about how I would show them off briefly in the giveaway live stream that we'll be having in about a week. And I realized that they were all sealed in different ways. So even the way they're sealed is a sample of what you can do. And I was going to ruin that example if I opened it by myself. So I felt like that needed to be, I wanted to get that on camera. And so we'll have this for an example to show. We can mention this and people can, if they're curious on the details when they're watching the live stream or anytime we might be giving these away in the future, they can reference them back. And I think they're pretty new, right? So you'll probably be using them for a little while. You think?
Yeah. The oldest one, I believe, came out in 2019, so pretty new.
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't know if so I'll show you just overall the 3 that we'll be going through are the wood kit, the game design toolkit, or specifically, yeah, it says a wooden treasury, but
Yeah.
general wood bits, design toolkit, and the compendium of print and paper toolkit. Or what do you call this one? I don't think that's what I remember it being called in the bullet list.
Yeah, that would be the Paper Toolkit, but it has like a nice flashy name.
Paper. Okay, cool. So I don't know if you have an opinion which one we should do first.
Ah, that's pretty tough. Let's go through the game design toolkit first. I think because
Okay.
there's probably a lot of folks that are gonna be game designers, and I think the paper and wood ones are a bit more flashy, so we'll save the surprises
Okay.
for the end.
Okay. So this one, the example here is that it's showing what it would be like to use the sticker and to avoid having a full shrink wrapped box.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, when I see this, I have mixed feelings as a consumer of board games. Like,
Yeah.
thank you for considering that. And is this going to ruin my box when I open
Yeah.
it? So we're going to find that out now. I think it is a combination of the sticker and the finish that you put on the box that determines like whether this works out.
That's a good point.
And I'm not educated in like which games you all have manufactured, but so maybe you'll tell me live here
Yeah.
what Leaf was the game that I got that
Uh-huh.
was like the best implementation of green production, like all paper production that I've ever seen, like everything inside, no plastic baggies or anything. And the
Mhm.
sticker, it was actually finished this is like a matte finish.
Mhm.
Leaf was like even a meteor box than this one that I'm holding in my hands, and it had like a shiny finish, and it also didn't rip or anything. So I was pretty pleased with how it went. Did you all manufacture that one?
So we didn't make Leaf, but I know that they talked about like having a conscious effort to do that throughout the entire campaign with all their components and stuff. Uh, and it's important, right, to think
Mm-hmm.
about our sustainability and our responsibility to the environment. That's one of the reasons we offer this choice instead of
Mm-hmm.
shrink wrap. You'll find a little more about sustainability within the Wood Toolkit, but it looks like you got your wafer sticker off pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little bit stressed. Let's be honest. I was being careful. It wasn't like ripping shrink off, where it's just like, yeah,
Yeah,
thoughtless. You know what I mean? But if I was being careful, nothing is damaged, and there is a finish on this box that protects it. So yeah, something also that I notice about this box that I think is really cool and it's very designer forward is that it's made to be a prototype box. Like it says prototype working title up there and a
hmm
place for you to write your name. So you can have your name on a box
there you go.
from jump, right? And we've got that's what it's kind of packed. Usually when people do unboxings, right, it's kind of like table down, but I'm sitting here. So
yeah, I think you got it.
We've got kind of a guide in here. So this would be an example of like thinking what a rule book might be like inside a box that you make.
Mm-hmm.
But it also looks like you're using this as an opportunity to give a guide of everything that should be in the box and how to use this and kind of your message, company message and goals and everything.
Yeah.
So
Being
yeah,
I
don't know if I'll okay. Oh, interesting. It kind of you did something weird to me. It opens the opposite direction I thought it would. But it has like a board game like a game board you could use inside or like a score tracker.
Yeah, so it's doubling as a score tracker, but then also like I guess a rule sheet and then like inventory of what's actually in the toolkit.
Yeah, I think if I were opening this by myself, I might like go through it one at a time and like inventory it off of this, but I think I want to be more engaged with the camera than that would allow me to be. So I'm just going to take it out and look at it. But yeah, so gel pack bag of lots of different painted wood shapes is the first thing at the top I find. And they're like kind of, oops, drop in one. They're kind of matte finished, like not shiny, but finished. And they're in, I think game designers care about how many different colors and shapes they get. So this could help you do, like they're different shapes. So we've got like a pentagon, a square, kind of an eye shape, like a rounded corners diamond, and some stars.
So fun fact about those shapes. There's 7 of them, and each one of them has a different number of sides.
Oh, makes sense, makes sense.
Uh-huh.
So there's must be a circle too. Yeah, so circle is like one side, and then the eye shape is like the 2 side.
Yeah. Kind of multi-use.
Yeah. Yeah, so they could mean a number if you wanted them to, if you told people to look at them that way. And it looks like there's 4 colors: pink, blue, green, and orange / dark yellow. So that's, yeah, very versatile, I would say. I think that's all the shapes. 1, 2, 3. Oh, nope, I'm missing one. There must be a hexagon in here. I'm not. Oh yeah, here it is.
Yeah. That's the board game hex. Oh, we picked up the same one.
Boop. We're putting our superhero rings together. So that's an overview of what's in that bag. And then there's a set of little mini dice that are the same color as those pieces, just 6-sided D6 that are the nice round, and they're clear, that kind of jewel thing going on.
Yeah.
Oh, hey Daria.
12 millimeter.
Thanks for joining us. Let me say hello to you. I'm gonna try to go through everything that's in the box, and then once I've done that, open for questions for this box if you have any, and then go on to the next one. So we're in the middle of the paper toolkit. What did you say, Jay?
I was just in Turkey this past week.
Oh wow. You have a jet setting life. So this one is also kind of, this is not like zero plastic box. Those 2 things were in baggies, but the cards are in a paper wrap example. Daria says, tell him next time you're in Turkey. Well, were you straight up in Istanbul?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you were very close.
Yeah. I'll reach out next time.
Get these off. Oh, okay. And actually, these look like they're pretty much blank. A whole bunch of cards that are blank, other than just a grid that sort of helps you. Let me see if I can get that. Yeah. It just sort of helps you place things. They're just all the same. Looks like they have all their corners dotted and edges dotted. So they help you kind of also, practice tile laying, or if you were making a game like Honshu, right, where you lay something, or I think Sprawl. I haven't played Sprawlopolis, but I think it's kind of like that too, where you cover parts of it. You could use these cards kind of out of the box with just like, whatever your symbol is in the middle to do that. So those are your square cards. What they seem like they're about 2 inches. Is that right?
Yeah,
Half,
they're
maybe
2 inches.
2
I
inches.
always use my finger. I guess that
The crease is about 2 inches, or that's like maybe even where the term inch came from. Is approximately how long your pointer finger is.
And like my wife
From
has
here to
tiny
here.
fingers, so it'd be like a quarter inch, half inch.
Oh, okay. You have the paper kit already, Daria. That's cool. So then this one is poker card sizes, same thing. And I guess I can't tell from, it seems like it's probably a 54 card stack in both cases, if I was going to guess, but I don't really know.
Yeah. Actually, we have 55 tiles. But everybody needs an extra if you lose one, I guess.
Yeah. What does it say? And then it says, I see this tip here, don't throw away the punch board frame. It's a good stencil.
Yep.
So I'll just...
Yeah, there's lots of surprises in this box.
But you feel like this one is the most, it would be like the cheapest. I'm assuming you sell these as well as give them away as samples sometimes, right?
Yeah. So they're actually available on our website. It's pandagm.com/shop. And you can purchase our toolkits. I think this one is a little bit cheaper than the others. It's more utilitarian and a little less like product focused of what we can do. It's more like show us what you can do with the tools that we can give you.
Yeah, so there is print on this, but it's like really dim, so you almost can't even tell. Like if I hold it back here, you might think it's a white card, but it has kind of a place for you to put, where the hearts and spades and stuff would be. That smart place to put key information on a deck or on a trick taker or something like that is kind of pointed out on these cards for you. And then this is neat too, a sticker sheet that looks like, well, many of them look like the shapes that we just opened. Some of them are other things too. Let me get that. There you go.
And those stickers fit right on the cards.
Yeah, exactly. So you could get, without having to even worry about your handwriting or whatever, you could mark the cards up. And there's also just a variety of things that do not look like the shapes. But they look like, they're not exactly, some of them are the colors of the shapes and some of them are not. But I see like kind of the Catan sheep brick wheat things. And I guess the trees, there's like pine trees. I could see that, considering those like wood.
Yeah.
So we've got some little pirate symbols for those people who like making pirate games. I've been hearing that from my attendees that I am overlooking food as something to focus on. So other than wheat, you've done that too.
Yeah. No, you're right. Food is popular enough that there should be more food stuff. I guess sheep could be food too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Depending on how you think of it, whether they're wool or milk, I guess too. But then this is it's pointed out, hey, you can double your box as a dice tray. You can print on the inside of your box to make it thematic if you want to. And then some all square punches that are, a lot of them are, you have supports in there that keep it from just like falling apart, but you also are not wasting any space. I don't know. it's a combination of like, depending on if you needed bleed or not, you'd need to be really, and that's what your job is, right? Is helping people think through like how to make their files so the component come out looking good, right?
Yeah, yeah. This is probably one of this toolkit. This is probably one of the most like process-driven pieces because in most cases you don't have punch board pieces that share the cut line
Right.
like that,
Right.
but you absolutely can if their bleed area is the same color. So it's a way to like maximize what you can get on a small sheet.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because this is a small sheet,
Mhm.
but so I'm just like doing 24 pieces out of this one small sheet. Doing
And
some
I
head
think
math
these are
there.
about 0.75 inches, not a whole lot.
But and you could use the stickers on there and everything. So that's everything that came in this one. I don't know. I'll pause just for a second if you have any questions. Anybody in the chat? Dari is the one that's made himself known. I haven't checked for whether anybody else is here, but yeah, if you ask me a question or you say you want to see something closer, I can do that. Or otherwise, we'll move on to whichever box Jay recommends we do next.
Yeah. Thank you for attending that Crowdcast stream, by the way, Daria. I remember that one. It was really fun.
Yeah.
Let's.
Oh, I missed that. Okay, sorry. You also said this. You said you already won this prize once from a different stream or from a different collaboration Panda did with somebody. Cool. Very good. Which one do you think I should do next? And I guess you're just deciding like which one is the finale, really? When you're deciding which one I should do next.
And like I'm trying to gauge what you seem to be really interested in. And I think we'll do the wood treasury next. Yeah.
Okay, so this one is again like I actually have never seen. I think I saw this. This was really what made me go like, "Oh, don't open this until you're recording this." Because this is interesting. Like I can't see the cover of the box because you've put this brown paper cover on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all like plain. And of course, a lot of people would say terrible idea for shelf presents, right? And then it also, I don't know if you can say this, but like it does have printing on it, but it's not going to be as pretty as the box. And I don't know if it has any kind of water protection. And that's also a problem with the stickers on the corners. Like if it gets wet, it's going to get ruined. Of course, the plan is not that it gets wet, right?
Yeah.
But
so I know that our boxes in general have a little bit of resistance. They're not totally resistant, but there is some water resistance just kind of built into that printing. But yeah, with the treasury, it comes paper wrapped, and that paper is definitely, going to be wet when it's wet.
Right.
But yeah, you can print in just black on the sides, front of that, and have it kind of heat sealed or, like that.
Or like really grayscale. I mean, there's art on this box. It's just not going to be color and everything. And I don't know and I guess the stuff that's on the front, you're just kind of showcasing. This is the stuff you have to put on the outside of your box. So if you do this, you need to consider where that's going to be. But even though this is all blank, you can print on.
Yep.
Probably not this part, I'm guessing, but like
you could probably do that like map texture, but again, it has to fold and stuff. So
nothing that you need to be able to read or that needs to make sense, because it would probably be too hard to get it to line up. And and it's just got glue and it rips open. And this is not meant to be kept. It's just kind of like a fancy paper bag that it comes in, right?
Alternative to shrink wrap. Yeah.
It would be too funny if you wrapped it in paper and then you put shrink wrap around it.
Yeah.
All right. So then so this is what, when they gave me a picture to share with people for what the giveaway would be, this is what it looked like. And that's why, it was obvious. It like gave me pause. So this is fun. It looks like a little treasure box. This is maybe going to be Daria's favorite one. Oh, and it has like hinges there. Of course, they're only printed hinges. It's a normal slidey box. I have something here too, just real briefly. I'll point out. I think I got this when I was like, I went past a booth. This is an old one of yours.
Yeah.
And it's an example of a magnetic clothes box.
Yeah.
And
I don't even have that one.
I know that it had like a cloth bag in it, and I used it to improve one of my published board games, but it has a really cute little guy. Maybe we'll see him return by the time we're done with this whole thing. But yeah, this is another kind of box that you have showcased before too.
Yeah. Magnetic box.
That does have a hinge, unlike this one that just looks like it has a hinge printed on there. So again, a rule book type thing, but this time it's not just a folded pamphlet, it's a book, and it's really got quite a lot of pages. 24 page. It's a 24 page total, like front and back counting book. And it kind of has like a little story inside, it seems like, or you've written kind of what you can do for people as a story. Sort of with illustrations, and
you'll see with
example of
this
screen printed wood
toolkit and the paper toolkit, it kind of outlines the adventures of like these little panda meeples, this party of pandas, bards, and this guy's a ranger. And yeah, throughout the book, as we talk about the different materials, you can see hints of like flavor text and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's cute. Okay, and then yeah, there's some like credits for the artist and stuff in the back too, I see. And then this is kind of a material like, a lot of inserts are made out of this material.
Yes, the like
where you punch it and assemble it yourself. And this has like gold leaf sort of on it.
Yeah, that's a gold foil printing that you can do on wood, for example, to make like a golden treasury.
Oh, so this, like if I take this apart, I could make a box that probably looks kind of like the outer box.
So I've been trying to put mine together here. It's pretty tight, but yeah.
Very good. Yeah. Daria calling out the booklet. And yeah, and I'm also just testing like how easy it is to punch this out. And what's neat about this is, yeah, you could totally make this like a centerpiece as a designer, right? Making prototypes. You could totally make this treasure chest a centerpiece of a prototype game that just brings it more table presence, kind of, without you having to design something really fancy. And hello, Derwent, too. Derwent also making himself known. But yeah, I've also had the experience sometimes with this kind of thing, that these sprue, is it sprue? What is that little tabby called that holds it?
I typically call like notches.
Or a tie, I think is maybe what they call it at the Game Crafter when they're telling you how to make your SVG or something like that for your own cut lines. It's like a tie. Sometimes they're too thick and
the part that like
they won't come
together.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like you need some sandpaper or whatever to get that notch off. But it seems to be, I would say the quality is pretty good. Pretty easy to get it out without like almost hurting, like giving myself a paper cut or whatever. And then, yeah, so I won't punch them all out, but there's these sides, and then, oops, I'm getting switched up. There we go. Which side is which? And then all these tabs, which are the arched top that you have, that we can kind of see they're assembled.
Yeah. I think I almost got it. Something like that. Yeah. Now you got a little hidden information treasure chest for your game.
Awesome. Yeah. When we have Nate Fullerton with us too. And is this laser cut is the question. Although I
I
said I would hold questions until the end, but I just can't help myself.
yeah, no worries. This actually is laser cut. Typically, our punch board sheets are not. They're done with a die mold. But for wood, this one specifically, you can see kind of some of the laser heat on the edges. But yeah, typically our paper components are not laser cut, and our like acrylics are not either.
Okay. If I hold it up to my nose, I can smell it. I can smell the soot or whatever. But I did not smell it when I opened the box, which is notable, I think. I have certainly experienced opening the box and having my nose like freak out, irritated. It's like such a strong like irritant to my nose.
Yeah.
And this is not doing that. There would be no way to hide it. I would be like stopping to wipe my eyes my nose if it was overpowering. So then we
on
also
that note,
go ahead.
we as a company love to do, really crazy, innovative things. There's not many components or ideas we'll say no to, but we've found that doing like scented components just it's so hard to control the scent. Like it's going to be on everything no matter what. So
there's going to be someone it bothers too, probably no matter what you do. But yeah, scratch and sniff. So scratch and sniff has been suggested, attempted, and rejected. That's what you're saying.
I wouldn't say rejected. We were just like, we can't stop it from getting on everything. So
yeah,
if you want that, sure, but
you probably shouldn't want that. Yeah. All right. And I don't know, maybe you can talk about, so I kind of assumed, based on the outer wrapping, that there would not be anything of any type of plastic in here. But this does seem like it's a different kind of plastic, but I think it's plastic, right?
Yeah. So it's actually a biodegradable plastic.
Okay.
Yeah. Completely kind of FSC friendly. It doesn't, for that purpose, it doesn't hold up very long for very well for very long. But yeah, it gets the job done.
So what is it made out of then? Like plant material or something?
I actually do not know. I'm looking through the book here to see if it mentions exactly what it's made of.
Wow. Okay, so some really chunky bits in this bag, though.
That's the Ranger's Moose.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It has, okay, so you see it has this little notch. It's like a toy, straight up. Then there's this piece that's fuzzy.
Yeah.
That I'm guessing, okay. Oh, no, it's a squirrel. This is a squirrel, a fuzzy squirrel. Okay. Yeah. I thought it might be a saddle, but no, it just fits. So here's the Panda Ranger.
There you go.
And it's not, so the little feet are not like the same size as the notch, so it kind of slides around, but it fits in there.
Yeah.
Directly. So you could play like, okay, so there's a few of these bags in here. So let's see what else we've got. It seems like we might have a little D&D party potentially or something like that. Let's see. We have another one of these silicone desiccants.
Yeah.
Okay. This one is a really, really detail painted compass.
Compass. So that's heat transfer printed onto wood.
Which is different than screen printing, I guess?
Yeah. Okay. So with heat transfer, it's much easier to do full color images. With silkscreen,
so is this guy silkscreen or heat transfer?
It's actually, let me see. I think he's heat transferred. Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah, he is.
Can I do this? Okay. Get him to be not blurry. That's the hardest part of this. And also that everything is backwards is also confusing. There we go. You can see him, he's a little bit shiny. So is heat transfer, it's generally going to be shinier maybe? Like that?
A little less actually than silkscreen.
Whereas
Silkscreen
this
lays
one,
down like a really, really nice layer, but one color at a time. So if you're doing multiple colors, like I think the mousse is silkscreen.
well, and he's also more raw. Like
Yeah, it's like an unfinished wood.
It's like stained instead of painted.
Yeah,
Kind
yeah,
of.
actually stained.
Okay. Yeah, whereas these other two pieces I've shown are painted. Oh, I mean, I can this squirrel. So can you silkscreen this fuzzy thing? Why doesn't he have an eye?
We haven't
You have to draw
tried.
him on there yourself.
Maybe he was born without eyes. Squirrel.
Ooh.
But we call this technique flocking with the fuzzing.
Flocking.
You can see that in honey
Yeah.
buzz. Yeah.
Exactly. Squirrel. Oh yeah. That could be a ongoing bit, frankly. Then here, this is something. Well, actually, I haven't seen this in a board game. This flocking. I don't think I have any published board games that have that. Other things I think I've seen before. This I haven't seen before though either.
Oh, the engraving, yeah.
Yeah, engraved wood.
Yeah, no ink at all yet. Still lots of detail.
I don't know. It's hard to communicate, I guess, through video, but yeah, it's like not very deep, but it looks like it's drawn on, but that's etched wood.
Yeah, and this piece doesn't have a wash on it, but referencing Honey Buzz again, they have some upgraded like victory point tokens that are also engraved, but they have like a dark wash on them to give them like a really dark contrast on like the bear paws and stuff.
Okay. All right. So yeah, and what's kind of fun about these bags, actually, this is interesting. I mean, maybe they're not perfect for this, but they're not clear. I can't see what's in here until I pull it out, So as far as like a secret draw bag, they could potentially kind of double as that. Okay. This is a either screen printed or heat transferred die that has foil.
Yeah, so these are silk screen, and yeah, it's a wooden die, so it's not perfectly balanced. But for something like a communal game, like Wingspan, for example, where like the resources that are rolled aren't just yours, they're for everyone. Wooden dice can be an option. And actually, I don't know if your camera's picking it up, but silk screen can be in like normal colors, but then also in like shiny colors. So
Yeah,
metallic silver.
we're doing it again. Boop. Show the exact same thing. But yeah, I think I'm seeing on my camera like some of the shine. So this one's fun. It's actually I'll tell you that kind of before I was really involved in board game industry, I already had a lot of the Lego games where you can change the die faces. And Heroica is one of their lines. That's kind of it's like a D&D adventure thing. The rules are very lame, but the idea of being able to build your little world and take these tiny little minifigs through it is pretty cool. And this die just reminds me of the Heroica die, like kind of what's on the faces of it.
Yeah.
Shields and like different characters' implements is kind of what it, like one of them is kind of magic, sword, bow, that kind of stuff. That's fun. Okay, I think there's at least one more thing in this bag. Nope, two things. Okay, this is another example of that etched wood. And actually, I think it's only etched. I don't think it has the stain on it. It kind of ends up looking darker than the other one did, but I think it's just...
It could be just the material color. With green, you get a little more contrast than the gray.
So there's something large in here. Oh, it feels like a dreidel. Is that what it is? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Can you tell what it's shaped like?
It kind of looks like an acorn. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the squirrel.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, it could be combined. Like the squirrel is out on the board, and depending on what it does, it triggers the rolling of the dreidel.
Mhm, mhm,
Um, is
mhm.
something a dreidel just because it's a top like this, or can you only call it a dreidel if it has those symbols on it
That's
that
a
a
good
dreidel would have?
question.
Because these are just they're kind of like just sticks. I guess they're very woodland, woodland
Mhm,
culture.
mhm, mhm.
That could really, it just could work like a die, right? Like it's probably six-sided. Is
Yeah,
there a one?
it's a penta, five-sided dreidel,
Oh, okay. Really? Five?
1 through 5.
Okay,
Yeah,
I see. Okay, the bottom line is just to show you it's like not part of the count. It's like
yeah, I don't
one,
think so.
2, 3, 4, 5, I think. Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool. Yeah, and it seems to be painted. Well, actually, it almost feels like it's two different things. Like this part of
Yeah,
it, um, and the bottom is like the shiny painted piece. Like it's like this thing's finish, or the base is finish. And then the top is etched. So but it's a little shinier than the other etched stuff. So it seems like it's pretty complicated. Like it's a combination of a lot of things, right?
yeah.
Is it balanced?
I don't know. I assume it is. I don't. Hmm. Now I want to like spin it 100 times and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
But maybe
It's
just
a
one.
top a la a dreidel. It's a top such that it would remind you of a dreidel. I mean, because I think a dreidel is a top that you spin and it's part of a game and there's a result, right? Whereas like most tops are, I don't know what the generic word is for a top that does that, right? But most tops just spin because it's fun to watch them spin. Yeah. You mean which little boxes are you talking about,
I think
Daria?
Pinball, maybe?
The do you mean the treasure chest
Is that the little box?
or the boxes that they come in? Yeah.
Oh, and there's like little forests.
Yeah, I haven't
On the
quite
line.
gotten there. You're giving it away.
Yeah, can't help
The
it.
kits, I see. Like everything in the not just the box, but
Mhm.
everything in it. Yeah. So we have one more. No, we have two more. Interesting. Now this is
Oh,
really
yeah.
interesting. Um there's two bags. One of them's almost empty.
Hmm.
I have a question about that, but like, let's see.
Dangerous.
I'll open the bigger one first, and then we'll see what's in the smaller one. So this one has littler pieces, so I'll just dump them all out. They seem likely to be like not each a specific feature, but they're just like
Hmm.
another kind of thing, like the multicolored ones, but they're not just a shape.
Yeah.
They've got, and I get this looks like, oh, this kind of looks like a clover, but I feel like probably something's going on where there's also a number involved, like how many notches are in it.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Maybe, I don't know. This one doesn't have any notches.
Yeah.
They also kind of look like they might
There's some stackable wood pieces.
somehow fit together. I don't like this one especially. Yeah.
Mhm.
There's only
We're on
maybe
it with like picking up the same piece.
two. So this would be like one game I have that kind of does this interlocking thing is Rocky Road a la mode.
Mhm.
Um, like maybe if you had a game where you go out ahead and then somebody can be on your space, but being on top is meaningful
Yeah.
mechanically or something, you could use these for that. Oops. Oh goodness. I'm gonna have to stay organized so that I can like quick flash these in the future. But
Oh,
but
yeah.
yeah, they're all very like naturally colored. So this also is giving an example of, hey, we can do like 3 colors of green, that are all different from
Yep.
each other.
Yeah. With our components, you can do just about any Pantone color.
Okay. And Oh, Camel Up. Yeah. Camel Up is a good example of something that works like that too. Oh, okay. So this is little where you're like, why? Why do I have a whole bag for this? Bling.
I don't
It's
I don't know
glitter.
that anyone has ever requested it, but I think we just wanted to show that we can actually do it. Like, it is possible.
It's almost like a practical joke one plate because like there's no way this doesn't shed all over your game. Yeah, it's
Already
already
open, I think.
happening.
Yeah,
And that's why it's in another bag to keep it
exactly.
from getting all over. And because it's like funny when you open it, it's like a surprise.
You should have put like a hazard mark on it.
Yeah. Oh, then you'd be able to show. I guess you can probably print on these too if you need to.
Yeah, I don't know that we've tried, but now I'm gonna ask the team. Follow up.
In case you need to. Yeah. Yeah. And then as you showed, we've got a
Ranger's
nice.
Treehouse.
Oh, this is cute. Is that what I think it is? Yeah, there's some little eyes peeking out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And a little tree
That
house.
almost looks like the cat from Cat in the Box.
Okay. Oh, and it's the moose. Yeah, you all have too much fun with this. The moose that like this is somebody working on this moose or like a figure to to represent this moose. Oh my, I can make like a diorama with this. Funny. Okay. So, this it feels like I guess this whole box sort of represents the ranger's home and the ranger's stuff when you called out the ranger.
I'm gonna say yes. Yes, that is the official lore behind it.
And I guess treasure chest rangers generally are like good at picking locks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You mean the glitter is too powerful, cannot be contained?
Yeah.
Through it. All right. Well, do you have, before I set this box aside and open the last box, does anybody have any questions or want to see something that you feel like you didn't get a good look at? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Yeah, yep, you're talking about the glitter. Good deal. Okay. I know there's a little lag in the chat, so I don't want to be too like hurried, assuming nobody's saying anything. Just give you a second. But anything else to call out, Jay, from your end, or questions to ask me?
Thinking about wood.
Yeah, I think Jay said no guarantees wooden dice can be balanced. So you want to keep that in mind if you choose that.
Yeah, that is correct.
Oh, what game is this for? Okay, what we're talking about here is these are sample kits. They're called toolkits that Panda Games Manufacturing can, you can buy them or they give them away sometimes in giveaways. This is a Protospiel online stream. So we're going to be doing a giveaway next weekend, or we're going to be doing the spin of the drawing giveaway for our attendees that attended our convention last weekend online. Next weekend, we're going to do a live stream giveaway where we'll give a few prizes away to live viewers. But this thing that we're showing here is what people who participated in our metagames at the event can earn entries to win. So you can't, if you're watching the stream and you didn't come to the event, you won't have a chance to win this time. But it may be that Panda donates more of these for future conventions, and we'll be able to point back to this video too, if so. So we can say, just watch that video if you want all the details, and just like quickly flash them during live streams going forward for the giveaways. So yeah, so we're doing 3 of their toolkits. I don't know if you have, do you have even more toolkits than that?
Yeah, behind me is another one of them that actually, I think this one's 2019. The paper one's 2020. The wood one's 2022, maybe? So this one is the oldest one I know of, and it has more stuff in it as well. But yeah, we have a lot of them.
Okay.
And the Omni deck as well, which isn't really a toolkit. It's more like a super deck that you can play a bunch of different games with.
But it is an example of something you like the quality of the stuff that you manufacture. Yeah. So these are meant to showcase all the different kinds of components that they can make. This one that we were just doing is the wood focus toolkit. And we have, and the first one we did was the designer toolkit. So it's just got like real basic things that one could use to make a prototype, and even a way to use the box to kind of put the title of your game on it and make it your prototype box you carry around. And then the last one, you said this is the paper toolkit?
Yes.
Okay. So this one is just normal shrink wrap. The other two were sealed in different special ways. This is the usual. And also this is the first one that has thumb holes. What do you call it? Is that what you call them? Thumb cuts. Okay. Yeah, which can be really helpful for, I actually haven't had a problem with the finish that you use on your boxes getting them open, but sometimes, especially small boxes like this size of a box, if the finish is shiny, it gets stuck and it's really hard to get it off. But if you have these thumb cuts, you can get a hold of the bottom more easily and pull it off. So this one has, it's embossed, I think is the right word there. Yeah. And it also has like spot finish, shiny spot finish, right?
Yeah, spot UV.
Yeah. So a compendium of print and paper. And we've got our, so we met is, let's see. Actually, I'm not sure. Are any of, is this the Ranger?
Nope.
Or
that's
no, this the Ranger?
Nope.
Okay, so the Ranger is just not pictured here, right?
Yeah.
Because the Ranger's represented by the other box. So I'm assuming like these characters will be more.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I would expect the Ranger to be carrying like a bow. And it doesn't look like anybody.
Yeah,
okay, so this we had before we had a rule book. Where did I put it? A rule book example with 24 pages for the yeah, here it is. So just to compare, they have two different finishes.
Yeah.
I think like this, I can see the, oh, I'm blanking on what is this called? The texture? Linen finish.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is like shiny finish, the one from the wood box, and then this one is more matte. It's still kind of shiny, but it's more matted and it has a different texture feel. I think it might be kind of basically impossible for me to like make it visible. You can kind of see those ridges, right? That's what linen finish means.
It's very hard to take a picture of.
Yeah, but it feels like when you get it in your hand, it feels different. It feels a little heavier, and it is more protected, isn't it? From like if it got wet, the water would come off
a little better. Bit. It doesn't offer that much more protection. It is like a very thin added layer, but mostly for like a nice tactile feel
and to make it easier to pull things apart, maybe.
Yeah, it does give it a little more friction there. And actually, Velvet Knight, it's not, well, it's deluxe in feel, not a like high cost difference at all. Yeah. It's very easy to like switch to linen as like a stretch goal or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, to make people feel like you were paying attention and giving them like the nicest possible thing you could without having to increase your cost a lot. What's this here? Okay, so you have like a little example. Okay, you're talking about the different insides of cards here. Yep. So these rule books are both, they serve both as like a sample of what it could feel like to have a rule book, and you can read through them and learn about components and, you know, what's possible with them. And probably some like why you would do this or that or all that kind of thing. Hi, Jack. Thanks for joining us. We're on the last of our 3 boxes. So you've got a little left.
I want to tell Jack that they have the coolest name I've seen in a long time.
Dino Corgi?
Yeah.
Yeah. And, well, and the little avatar that goes with it is super cute.
Yeah.
Oh, and even if like you only got the paper box, oh cool. The next thing is cool. You'd get an example of a normal finish rule book too.
Yeah, that booklet that you have is two parts. It gives the stats of the
Okay.
Panda Party, the little meeples that are inside, and it also is something else that I'll let you talk about a little sooner as you keep going through the box. I keep trying not to spoil things, but then I'm like, this is it.
Yeah, so the rogue does get mentioned. This the rogue. The rogue. Yeah, it was the one that was we had the figure of in the box before. So it's actually kind of a rule book. It has like information that you might reference and actually play a game with if you made a game up using these pieces. And then the back has, it looks like it has, so there's going to be something buildable in here. So it has instructions for building it. But yeah, I kind of gave away, like I pulled out the rule book and then I saw this. This is very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe you should describe. I'm kind of giving away like what terms do I already know, right, for manufacturing without ever having worked for a manufacturer or anything. Just
It's good to
being a
know what
board
people
gamer.
think, though. Like, what would you call this thing?
Oh yeah,
It's
this is like a oh, this is really cool. So it's got a castle on the outside
mhm,
and a throne on the inside. And it's I'd call it a player screen as far as a
yeah,
component. And I mean, I guess it's kind of, it's not, so I called the cover embossed,
hmm
but this is pressed because it's on the back. You can see what's on the front too.
hmm
So
yeah.
it's not,
So
yeah, it's been pressed from the back, or I can tell that it has. Yeah.
yeah, so both of these are embossed. You can't feel the underside of the box and feel the embossing there because of how many like layers go into making the box.
Okay. Gotcha.
Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, this is
Forgot
what
to
happens
show
when
you
you
the inside.
emboss like a basic screen. And yeah, if you feel the inside of that box, there's actually a texture on the trees.
Oh wow. Yeah. Where everywhere, oh, that's hard to show, but everywhere you see those like bright lines on the trees, it's a different kind of ink, and it's kind of rough and you can feel it.
hmm
Very pretty
hmm
picture, like with the I'd say firefly is what I'd go with.
hmm
Reminds me of I was watching that recently, Robin Hood, the Disney movie Robin Hood,
Yeah.
when they're in Sherwood Forest and the fireflies.
So there's one more fun thing about the inside of the box. It's actually glow in the dark.
Ooh.
I don't know if we'll be able to like simulate it here, but
Well, you know what? Maybe we'll come back to it. I'll put it right up against my light, and I can turn my lights out, and it's pretty dark in here when I turn them off. So we'll see if it shows up.
yeah.
Once I've given it some time to charge, like right at the light. I'm assuming it works like any other glow in the dark, right? Where you need to hit it with light before it would actually work. But so this one is a whole bunch of stickers. Comparing this to the stickers we had before, it feels like a lighter sheet, I guess, to me. Similar, but yeah, this one feels like a slightly thicker paper than this one does to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are they anything special about like what these stickers stick to, or the glue on the back of these stickers as opposed to the glue on the back of the other?
I don't know for sure, but I know that we can do various types of stickers, whether with white backgrounds or transparent, or stickers that need to permanently stick versus stickers that need to be like removable and reusable. All of those are options.
Mm-hmm. This is really cute. It's like a meeple shaped potion, I think, bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Lots of pandas on this. Oh, right. Even Jay's shirt has a panda on it. I don't know.
All coincidence, I promise.
Okay. Okay, these are like two things that wow, lots of stuff going on here. they're like postcards, kind of, that just show a lot of your thing, like printing things that you can do.
Yeah.
So this has a tech similar to the inside of the box, like we were talking about. Everywhere there's this, like these clouds and the peaks of the mountains have a different texture that feels rough.
It's so like hard to film a tower, capture a texture. But yeah, we call this frosted finish. Okay. And you can do it on pretty much anything that's paper, whether that's your punch board tokens, your game board, your paper sheets.
It's a little bit shiny. It's almost like the foil print, but not quite. It kind of just seems like it has some foily, glittery stuff mixed into it that makes it a little twinkly, I guess.
Yeah.
And it also is texture, like it has a really tight linen finishy kind of texture.
Yeah. It almost feels like the flocking of the squirrel, but like really hard and on paper.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, there's another, we could have done a spot the panda, count how many pandas you can find as we do this stream. Trying to get that to not be blurry, but oh, this is fun. This is, again, just like the castle, like this is what's going on outside. And you can see through, well, it looks like it's snowing outside on this side, but on this side it's not. But like something that is in that environment, the inside. I'm guessing, I don't know, this seems like a wizard's workbench.
You might meet a wizard in this box. Maybe. We'll see.
And then this one, I mean, these have some things in common, like there's a flame on the back. And then I hope that there's not a tavern here because it's about to be destroyed. But there's a tavern here with some, you could just kind of use, these seem like, yeah, you could be playing a role-playing game and you could just sort of put this out on the table for theme.
I'm trying to like get there we go. A good old shiny. Yeah.
Yeah.
And see the light really bouncing off that lava.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can see exactly the shape of my light in the lava, actually. I could do that. Now there's like a game board next. A two-fold game board.
Yeah. And this is typically how all game boards are made. You know, larger, but there's two sides. One has the wrapping kind of coming all the way around. And then on that side, you can see the extra layer that is glued on top. And that's another good point to make when you're thinking about manufacturing. It is very, very, very affordable to print on the backside of a game board, whether you need like a double-sided game board, or if you want to just put like really cool art, like maybe the box art on the backside.
So polyhedral peaks, I think, is this guy.
Yeah.
And what does that say? I can't read it there. Wonderlust Woods. Is, I don't know what that is. I'm not sure if I see a picture of that yet. Oh, is there? Okay, is inside the box. Then this is the castle that is the player screen. Oops. Kind of. I'm going in and out of focus a lot. And then the lava thing we were just looking at. Lava something lock, lava cast lock, and the gemstone mines are maybe. Oh, I said tavern, but it does have gemstones on the table. So this is maybe the mines like break room. Is that the idea? I don't know.
We'll see.
Ooh.
Got a lot more box to go through.
A pop-up game board is interesting to talk about. And Jack says I have stadium lighting. Today I learned. So yeah, you're saying like when you say pop-up, I think you're talking about like a pop-up book where actually I have a game. It's called The Shivers that is a pop-up book. Have you heard of that? or it's not even a book. It's like these. It's a whole bunch of these where when you do this, there's a pop-up scene inside, and it's really neat. It has like in the back, it has holes in it, right? And you slide something into the cards into the back, and you can have different things are inside. You can actually open little doors and see inside. And there's something different there each story because of switching out the cards. It's very ingenuitive how much story they got on these few like cards just by turning them and stuff. But anyway, I'm guessing there's not a pop-up book in here, but maybe you can tell me to wait and we'll talk about it later.
There's not a pop-up book in there. I can surely say that there's not.
Okay.
I don't think we've manufactured a game that's sort of pop-up centric. I know we've looked into it, but we haven't had any clients who are like, yes, I will absolutely need this yet.
Yeah.
But I think it's something we'd love to, try out.
They're works of art. Designing that is a whole other thing. Yeah. So I don't think I want to. This is like a little craft project for myself, and maybe I don't know. Do you think I should put these things together to show off put together when we talk about what we're giving away, or is it more fun to see the possibility of putting them together? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Maybe the chat can tell me what they think about that. But
yeah, this one takes a little bit. There's a lot of things to punch out, but it forms the tower, which
the rule book, back of the rule book explains how to assemble it. Yeah.
Maybe a little white center there. It makes a little tower for your meeples to go onto. And I mean, cardboard constructibles are my favorite component because you can do pretty much everything with them.
Mm-hmm. You think I should keep it as a surprise, as in you think that I should not assemble it and let people assemble it themselves to see what it's like if they get it. Okay. So I don't get to assemble them then. Or, I mean, I guess I could and then take it apart if I just wanted to have the experience. But yeah, it's a lot of parts. Okay, I think that's it. Oh, fun. Yeah, you're right. There's lots of fun stuff in this box. And these are also, wait, no, they're not. I think that these are like, they're straight up normal punchboard finish. Like, there's nothing bonkers going on. There's no special like printing treatments or paint or ink or anything on them.
Yeah,
but what's being shown off here is like, wow, you can make a whole like table presence thing with flat cut board.
Yeah. Yep.
And then we've got double layer inset board that is actually something that feels notable about this that I don't know I've seen in any of my published games is this. It's exactly lined up. Like the picture exactly matches it, which feels like it must be really hard to do. But
a little bit. It's not impossible, but I mean, with the right attention to detail and good manufacturing, it can easily be done.
And they use the back to, show another scene. And then we've got this is like super thick. Feels like extra thick.
Yeah.
One side is normal. These I think these are the same as these stickers sheet that I had before, but they're foil printed.
Yep. Some nice shiny foils. As you see, comes in lots of colors.
Were you all involved? This makes me think immediately of Santa's Workshop. Were you involved in making that?
No, actually. We do a lot of Elf Creek games, but we did not make Santa's Workshop.
Okay. But yeah, it has metal as one of the resources. But instead of making metal, I mean, and it seemed to me like really quite smart. Because like metal is heavy, it's expensive to ship. It's an really actually expensive component, right? But if you could do the whole thing, and that's what they did. The whole piece is shiny, so it really screams metal, but it's just made of cardboard.
Yeah.
Oh, we did go for an hour.
Oh,
So we didn't know if we would. I don't think we're almost done. So I think I better run a commercial break and we'll just chit chat and not show things while I do that.
sure.
And it will be 3 minutes. So if you're sitting and watching, you have some time for a bio break. But yeah, you and I can just keep talking. For those people, like if anybody is a subscriber, they don't have to watch ads when they're watching our
Oh,
channel. So there may be people
cool.
here, or we played for, well, we're a community of board game designers, right? So we said we need something to do when the commercial's running, and I think Matthew Hawker was like, "All right, everybody, I'm thinking of a number," just like the simplest game ever. Play along. But of course, we don't have as many. That was during our prototype showcase stream that we run right before the event, where everybody kind of can come and answer questions about their prototypes. So it draws a bigger audience than the average any other stream I think we've ever done, especially because we don't stream regularly currently. But stay tuned. We might do that. We might do that more in the future. It takes some building up to.
Yeah. Hats off to any streamers. It is not an easy thing.
I think it takes getting used to accepting like it's pluses and minuses. I like that everybody knows we're live. You know what I mean? And it's not expected to be highly produced and perfect and scripted. That's really nice, but it also can be nerve-wracking for first-time participants, or anything can happen. And it also means you need to be ready to think on your feet and address questions and stuff that can be stressful for some people. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, I think I prefer it to the editing. I've had both experiences, and the editing is more miserable than that to me. So I pick live streaming for sure.
Yeah, that was a consideration when we did our Behind the Boards series. We're like, we could do live interviews, but if we don't, then we could do like really nice B-roll, and I don't have to worry about the editing. So I was like, let's do not live.
Well, I think if it's like what you do and you're good at it, and you're able to focus on the editing, the way my life is, editing is one more thing I have to spend time on. It's not my whole job, and I don't think I would want it to be. I think I like having more variety than that would allow me to have if my whole job was editing. One thing, I'm also getting used to Twitch, how I know that the ad is done. I think we've got about like 15 seconds left if I'm looking at the right dashboard the right way. We'll just kind of pick up slowly. But yeah, thanks for hanging in for the ad, Jay. I haven't figured out what to do with it yet. So we're just
totally cool.
Spitballing.
Yeah, I'm learning here too. But yeah, also thanks to the subscribers, for supporting Protospiel.
Yes, we definitely appreciate it. I need to start teaching people how to avoid ads by using, if they pay for Prime anyway, they can, and they don't subscribe to anything else on Twitch, you can have it for free, but you have to do it again each month. You have to pick who you're subscribing to with your Prime subscription on Twitch each month. It's interesting. I kind of like it though, because then like people who are subscribing, it actually means they're engaged. It's like a little more work for them, but yeah. So back to the last thing we were talking about was foil, and Velvet Knight says foil's always a nice touch. I think it definitely gets my attention more than even just like gloss spot finish, spot UV.
Spot UV.
What does Daria say?
Oh, sweet. Yeah. Awesome.
You'll see the gamer scene then in Istanbul.
Yeah.
I think I might lose this. I'll pause if I keep going. So let me see what Jack is saying. Something very long here. Long question. For small designers, What are the minimum runs for Panda in total components and number of copies? And what's the ballpark cost?
Yeah. So our minimum order quantity is 1,500 units, so 1,500 of your game. A price for that will really depend on the game, right? Um, what I can say is if you wanted to get a quote for your game, you could definitely do that with us. You would just go to pandagm.com/RFQ, which stands for request for quote, and you can fill out the information there and you talk to someone maybe like myself who would help you get a quote for your game. So yeah, that's the best way to go about it.
So what is y'all's perspective when somebody comes to you for a quote? Is that a completely free consultation where truly no harm, no foul if you help them figure some things out and they don't end up going with you? Or how does that work?
Yeah. So kind of just like you said, we don't charge people for quotes. We don't charge them for estimates either, which is a completely free tool on our site that
Okay.
gives you less options to choose from, but it has all your basics.
Oh,
And
okay.
it kind of gives you just like a general idea of the price. So you can use that for your Kickstarter campaign, and think about freight shipping costs and add those together and think about all the other costs. It just helps you kind of move forward if you're not quite ready.
Okay. So that's a different thing than requesting a quote, right? That's like you don't even have to schedule a meeting with a person. It's just a
Right.
calculator. So let me get that link for y'all. Oops, wait a minute. This is oh gosh. Wait, what happened?
You're exploring.
Okay. Sorry, let me just copy. So when you actually visit this link, you're going to get a redirect to like a meeting scheduler that might be specific to you. So this is the one. I had this on my Faceboard, what Jay just said. So this is
There you go.
that's a link. But if you were to go to their website and click that link, something else will happen. Or it won't stay that link
Yeah.
for you. But then where is the estimator? I could also
So
share the link to
if
that too.
you
That's a different.
get an estimate, if you click that in the
Okay.
header bar, get estimate. And it's just pandagm.com/estimate.
Okay. Cool. So that might be, maybe you might choose that as a pre-step before you talk to somebody more if you're like, whoa, I already know this isn't going to work somehow. But I bet you all would rather they talk to you because you might be confused when you look at the estimate, or you might not think of the solutions to make it cheaper that you all would know, right?
Yeah, you're definitely right there. The estimate can't tell you the exact cost of your game. It probably won't have the exact components you need.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of things that talking to a can actually inform you of.
Mhm.
Maybe you don't know how many punch board sheets you need. Maybe you think you need 4, but you could actually do it with 1 or 2.
Mhm.
And talking to us is going to
Yeah.
help you make those kinds of decisions.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so that was kind of a little island of general Panda knowledge.
Yeah.
And now, like, we'll get to the bottom of our last fancy box. So we have, there's also an example in this box, unlike the other boxes, of a insert that is made of paper that I'll show you in a minute too. But let's do it in this order. So we've got, okay, so we've got some cards that come in destructible plastic wrap. It looks like they are blank on the back. Really totally blank. The ones that we showed earliest, they had like a grid on them. Well, okay, they're white, but they do say Panda, and they say that they're 310 GSM black core.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one that says 310 GSM black core linen finish, so you can like compare, and it's actually labeled as what it is. And I think that these are all the same, right? So I won't spend the time opening these. But then there's one deck that's just got a paper slip to show you that's another way they can be done. And that one's easier to open. So It looked like 2 copies of each character, and this one says it's 300 GSM linen finish, which I guess means it's a little bit thinner. What does GSM stand for?
Grams per square meter, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a weight, and a smaller number means thinner.
Yeah. This is where I would like default to our pre-press lead who like has worked in paper all their life.
Right.
Yes, essentially smaller means a little less hefty. And so what we've given in this toolkit are 3 sort of legacy card materials, which are blue core, ivory core, and black core. And so in that order, they go from like standard quality up to like super major X deluxe quality, which is the black core. And when you're thinking about like which one of those is good for my game, if you're making a deck builder or something that like every single turn you're shuffling a ton of cards, maybe you want to consider ivory or black core. But for something else, blue core or even what we have now, which is a white core, are just as good. We would consider them the industry standard of what you would find across tons of games. That would be our blue or white core, one of those 2.
Yeah, so this is the blue core 300 GSM. So it's not as thick as the other one. I'm trying to show kind of what it looks like as it bends. But yeah, I think I agree with you. Like I might as a gamer be I'm not super picky. I don't sleeve my cards and stuff, but I think I would notice like this seems light, and like a game that I'm shuffling the cards a lot, I think I probably would feel like I need to be careful with them. Like I might damage them shuffling too much.
I find it super interesting. Like for myself, I don't prefer like very rigid cards because I don't like the idea of having to put enough force to bend them. And then like I know other people who definitely prefer that. So it's like, what do you think is the right feel for your game or your audience, right?
Yeah, and I almost wonder if it's like also how you've been trained to shuffle or your shuffling skill, you know what I mean? Like I've been taught now to riffle shuffle like this. So you don't have to bend the cards and arch them. And
it's tough.
Like when I was a kid, I was taught like this way, you know, straight in. But getting to know gamers, I was taught, yeah, you can do basically that same thing, but just do the corners and you don't have to mess with them.
I had no idea that was the thing for today.
But anyway,
let's
see. Okay, and then these ones are the Ivory Core 310. Okay, so the lightest weight ones you've done in blue core. I guess maybe that's the lowest grade. Ivory is middle and black is top.
Yeah.
Because this is the Ivory Core is still 310 GSM, but it's maybe ivory just means like it doesn't have that dark black in the middle, impossible to see through light wise kind of thing.
That also plays a little bit of like it plays into it just a little bit. It's kind of hard to really put into words. It's easier to like see the difference because you'll see like on these white cards, you'll be able to see like just a little bit. With the ivory core, because it's white, it shows through to the other side just a little bit, and then with the blue and the black, you get less of that transparency.
Okay.
And I mean, when you're holding them in your hand, like at a table, you're not going to be see through them. You have to like put them up to the light.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So this also is a demonstration of a different kind of wrapper. It's less plastic, but it's still plastic. Yeah. And I guess like these are glued shut, so it depends. I often save these, and I'm patient enough to put my cards back in them. I hate wasting things. I hate throwing things away if they are useful. can be problems sometimes, but
Going back to what you said when you were opening the cards, you called one of the wrappers like destructible plastic.
Mhm.
I'd never heard that term before.
Yeah. I mean, I guess just once I rip this, I need to throw it away. Unless I guess unless I took scissors. I guess if I took scissors and I cut it instead of ripping it, so I just said I tend to be super patient, right? But I probably when meeples and stuff come in something like this, I generally am just like, it's gonna feel junky if I try to save it. It's gonna be ridiculous, you know what I mean? When I know I have a pile of Ziploc bags that have like been extras from other games, and I'll usually rip these, throw these away, and put the cards into like a Ziploc that I have from something else. But if something comes like this, I might put it back in there and just store it like that forever. Okay, so lots of those cards. I guess you could make, a whole deck of, it would be, with this kit, you could make an RPG type game. You'd have a deck of, you could take like all the wizard cards, or you could choose to do that. You'd have like this mix of different core cards with like the wizard's deck or whatever. Or you could make several decks of like, there's 2 cards for each character.
Yeah.
So another silica pack. And the other 4 characters that are on the back of see, there we go. So what is this? This is very roguey. Wait, Ranger. The guy I think we've been saying rogue. But the guy in the wood box is the Ranger, huh?
Yes.
Okay, that's the rogue. And the wizard, so cute. Witch. Very witchy wizard. Witch or wizard. Whichever you want to go with. A knight.
It's the warrior, fighter, warrior. Yeah.
This one's a fighter, probably. Right?
Warrior. Yeah.
Warrior, okay. And and I'm not showing that, but they all have, and a bard, or is that what it's called?
Good old bard.
They all have a back too.
Mm-hmm. Panda butt.
Their little panda butt, their little panda tail. Very fun. Oh. Yeah, I'm actually kind of, I guess it's this other kit that has it. Oops, did I? Oh, this one is, he's sideways, so same on both sides. But
get to the back of the rogue. It's always ready.
Yep. The cape. No capes. They didn't get the memo. But yeah, I am surprised. I know that when I saw this, when I got this older sample box a long time ago, this probably was the thing I was like, oh, wow, that was nice of you to give me. Right? So this is another possibility with Panda, but none of the, like, you can do figs. These boxes are not the ones that are in the giveaway are not the ones that showcase that. But I think you probably still have a box. It's probably not exactly this one, but that has some of these similar kind of things in it, huh?
Yeah, I wanna get one of those. I don't know if I still have them, but like I want one now.
Yeah, because it shows the magnetic clasp, which is nice to see. So then also, again, printed box insert. So this is just made out of, oh, wow.
Stone mines.
A miss. No, I'm just teasing. Every other surface is printed. I actually came to be surprised that this was not printed because it's happened every single other time. I've been surprised. But yeah, it's like nice. It's thicker than inserts are usually more papery, more like cardstock. This one is actually cardboard. It's kind of corrugated cardboard and it's printed. This is the mine for sure.
Yeah.
I think maybe that was a tavern, that thing before, and it's just not on the map.
Yeah.
And then a fun little crystal cave with a monster. Or you could maybe consider this as the boss of the story.
Yeah.
Okay, now we said, I picked it up and moved it though. I was going to turn it off and see if we can see it glow. So just a second. I'll go totally dark for a second. I've got like 3 buttons to push though. So it'll take a second. 1 sec. They're all like under this stuff too. I'm not usually doing this live.
The dedication that you're putting in
Yeah.
for the audience.
Okay. Oh, my computer screens are super bright too. So I'll pick this up. And see if
I think it's kind of, yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of
yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it's brighter than like I would be able to, like, it's certainly not pitch black, but you can see it.
Yeah. That's the glow in the
Glowy.
dark.
Yep. Okay, now I got to turn my lights back on. I'll just point you at the ceiling for a second while I do that. That's fun though. Yeah, I don't think I've, that's a thing about glow. If I have a board game that does that, I might not know. So.
Yeah, practicality for that. The game would like have to focus around like being in the dark and shining a light on something. Then like the light goes out, and now you only. Oh, that could be cool though. Like you have to like build up your light resource because then the light goes out, and you have to like do stuff. That could be really cool.
Or like, do you do black light reactive things?
I think so. I think we can, but we haven't practically done it in a game yet.
That probably that is kind of a gimmicky thing that I would expect mostly would come up in like legacy games.
Oh yeah, is there something like that in
I did not get there, but I believe something like that is going on in Seafall.
Okay.
I didn't make it, so I'm not sure. So it's not total spoiler. I'm telling you, I've gotten the impression that that's the case without actually being able to confirm it. Yeah.
Can't confirm, but can confirm that maybe.
Right. Okay, so that's all the pieces. I don't know if there's any other questions. I guess also I didn't specifically ask for just questions about Panda. But yeah, you're here and you can answer them. So before you go, if somebody has questions about that, well, we've got your attention. You can ask. But yeah, so man, I've got like a little mess here. I've got to keep them together, like to be able to show this is what this one is, and this one is, and this is what this one is. But yeah, this was really fun to open. It was like Christmas morning. Presents. Games without rules. Games just asking for you to make the rules up. Let's see. Derwent says, bought UV lights for playing Subterra because of the glow-in-the-dark dice. Oh, fun. And I think some of the tiles had UV reactive coating like black light coloring. It's fun.
Cool.
Very good. Yeah, I mean, is there anything like going on at Panda that you're excited about that you wish more people knew about that you're allowed to tell us? I mean, I don't know what things are.
We're always making fun games. One thing that I think could be very relevant for the Protospiel audience is we do create what we've been calling prototypes or marketing copies, however you want to look at them. And essentially, we found that they have great use for like getting them to content creators or making like marketing videos and stuff before your Kickstarter or for your Kickstarter or crowdfunding campaign. So we can do that. And the price is not bad at all. We've tried to make it pretty comparable to things like the Game Crafter, with the caveat of we can do a lot more. We can essentially like make your game as it should be. You're not really limited to much. So yeah, that's available for folks, and it's completely outside of a manufacturing contract. So you don't have to commit. You don't have to commit to doing mass production with us to do prototypes.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
We would love you to, and
it's easy to just go to that. Like if you can make the marketing copy, it's going to be pretty straightforward. I mean,
You go
to
through
just turn the button, like turn the key and push the button or whatever, and just make more.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So what happens is you pay a fee for what we call early design verification, and essentially, it's an early version of our design verification process, which you go through in our production process. It's the part that usually takes the longest because we're file checking all of that kind of stuff, and once you get that done, you have so many copies of your game, and when you finish your campaign, you've already done the design verification. So now we just tweak anything that needs to be tweaked and then start mass production.
Is the request a quote link what you would use to get started on that conversation, or is there another specific link to go to?
So you can talk to your Panda project manager about it on your RFQ call. I think there is a link on our site. Let me see if I can find it.
Okay. And what is the difference? Okay, you're a pre-press specialist, right? And there's a different person they work with that's a project manager. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So your pre-press specialist is going to be with you throughout the entire pre-production, pre-mass production process. So all of design verification, your pre-press specialist is helping you with your print files, your
And you're talking
your punch board
directly to them.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We can talk to the client. We can talk to the client and their graphic designer, whoever you need to put us in touch with to get your print file set up properly. Your project manager is going to be with you. They don't help with the design verification process unless they're like a dual role Panda. But the project manager is going to lead you through our entire process. So from the moment you kind of sign a quote with us, you're given a project manager and a pre-press specialist, and then your project manager is with you up until the point that you get your games shipped from our warehouse, and maybe a little bit after.
Okay. And is it like, this is just curiosity, it doesn't really matter, but just wondering, like, does everybody you help have the same project manager? Are you like a package deal with a project manager, or is it just all mishmash?
Oh, we switch it up a whole lot.
Okay.
But like in most cases, if I start quoting with someone, at that point I'm their account manager, and then they sign a contract, and I tell them that I'm probably going to stay on for the pre-press because it makes sense, which is the next step. But then I bring in a project manager that's typically I try to get someone who has a lot of experience with their game. So we have folks that love RPGs. We have folks that do a lot of like miniature stuff. We have folks who like games about dinosaurs. So if you have a dinosaur game, I might give you a dinosaur project manager. But also factoring in time zones. So if you're in Europe, you're probably going to get some of our European team members. But if you're in the West Coast, maybe I won't give you our East Coast project manager if it makes sense, because we want to get someone close to your time zone. So that communication.
Yeah. So pretty bespoke. Like you're just really thinking about the game and the company that's producing the game and what will be a good fit. Like who will get to geek out about it and be the most excited kind of to work together, and smoothest to work together time zone wise and stuff too.
Yeah, that's a big part of work with Panda. We don't just like want you to send us your files and then we send you games 8 or 9 months later. We want to like enjoy watching your game come to life. We're excited about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so is the answer to that link question request a quote?
Find it, so I would say yeah, just mention it to whoever you speak to about a quote.
And so with that sounds, you say marketing copies, which makes me think of like 5 to 10 or something like that. Is that kind of what it is? Is it always more than one, or is it really just flexible? Like you tell us how many copies you think you need for marketing in advance.
It makes more sense to do about 5 or 10 or 15 or like 20 if you're really wanting to give like a wide breadth to the
Mhm.
advertisements. Doing one or two, you would probably be just as good off doing five.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, and that is interesting that you don't have to have a contract signed with Panda to, and it's really nice actually that you do that, because a lot of these people are probably going to Kickstarter and they don't yet, they're not sure it's going to fund. They don't want to be in a contract where they can't back out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's nice. I did feel like there was sort of another question in there with that. Oh, that was my question. What is the difference between that and a proof?
Yeah. So with, I'll call them marketing copies. These are high quality versions of your game. They look and feel like a completed game, but like a few caveats. Some of the materials aren't made with the mass production materials because we're only making like maybe a dozen.
Mm-hmm.
But trying to think of some of the campaigns we've done. I know Flock Together did marketing copies with us. Gosh, we've done so many. I know Alpenglow, which was a first-time creator on Kickstarter back in the fall of last year. They've all done these copies with us, and it's really, I'd say about 90% like production quality.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And what our proofs are, we have like stages throughout our process where you get physical versions of the game to approve to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one that you get is the pre-production copy. And so what that is a complete version of your game, like the marketing copies would be, but the difference is it's made mostly for color matching. It's what we're going to use
Mm-hmm.
to send to you to make sure, one, that the rules are right, we've got the correct number of cards, everything looks the way it's supposed to, but also do these colors look right? Because this is what we're going to use in order to make sure that the thousands of copies we mass produce are calibrated to the right colors.
Mm-hmm.
And then after mass production, you get an MPC, which is the mass production copy. And that one's mostly to make sure everything went correctly. And if it didn't, can we like print a supplement sheet that says this
Mm-hmm.
rule is wrong? Here's what you
Mm-hmm.
should do, or maybe change up assembly, like flip the cards a different direction.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Things that are yeah. Catch things that are fixable, or I guess if something was completely misprinted, that's great to hear. Like you would rather know that from the creator and not ship them out. And I'm sure maybe it's a case by case sort of thing, like how you deal with the
Mhm.
cost of fixing that problem, right? But you have a vested interest too in, let's not just throw it out the door. Like we're
Yeah.
taking our time, we're double checking with you. It is on the creator though to look at it, actually look at everything and really think about it, and not just go like, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe
That's
give
why we
themselves
have,
like a week to open it, look at it, then maybe look at it again the next day,
yeah. And
and
so
see what they see.
when we send the pre-production copy before mass production starts, we tell you to play with
Okay.
friends, have people read the rules, and we also send you a checklist of like,
Okay,
here are
that's
the
nice.
things you need to look for. Are these things good? If they are, then play it one more time and then let us know we can start mass production.
Yeah, that's awesome. Something that I've heard about working with Panda is that you're very busy. Like it's hard, you're sought after, and so it's hard to get you to be your manufacturer if you're new. Do you
Mhm.
feel like that was many years ago when somebody said that to me? Like, yeah, I'd recommend Panda, except I don't think they have room for you, probably. Like I'm working with them and happy, but I can't promise that they'll have time to talk to you. But I know they've hired you recently, so I don't know if they've grown their team and that's less of a problem lately, or what do you think is going on there?
We have grown our team. I will say that we're not like, it's not slow at work,
Yeah.
but
Right.
I wish, right? But no, we're definitely accepting new clients.
Mhm.
We're definitely quoting. Um, I'm not 100% sure, but we'll probably at least consider running some kind of promotion in the fall to like let
Okay.
folks know we're excited for new quotes and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to hear. And that's growing pains, right? Being good at something. That doesn't mean you can do it infinitely for everybody, right? And
Yeah.
there's still there's a combination of all these things. All these things you're saying, like room in the factory that needs to be queued up. There's also, I think, when you part of getting the quote, I'm sure, is you saying, if we made this, it would take this much time in the factory to make it, and the first time that we have available for you to book is like such and such, right? And it's not going to be next week.
So we do offer timelines, right? But we don't ever really run into an issue of like, oh, we can't work on your game because like the queue's backed up or anything
Okay.
like that. There aren't
Okay.
slots to book in that way. We're able to just keep things going. But yeah, we do give timelines, and we do have to let people know sometimes that we can't have your games finished next month because it takes way longer to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So part of the quote is the price and how long does it take?
Yeah.
To help you set your timeline if you're doing crowdfunding, to tell your people realistically when they should expect to get something. Yeah. It's awesome. Well, this kind of became just a Panda chat. It was supposed to be an unboxing, but so it'll be kind of, this will be like the low key. You can actually get these like answers you might be looking for if
Yeah,
you just get curious about the unboxing.
there you go.
Yeah, really cool to hear all that stuff. I am not looking personally to design or self-publish a game, but I still think about I just find the process really interesting. I think about it a lot, and I play a lot of games, right? So
Yeah.
I have all my words for the components just from being a gamer. All right, well, I think we're wrapping up. We haven't seen, oh, wait. I do see one simple question. Are you going to be at Spiel Essen?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Our team's going to be there. Yeah.
that's awesome. And yeah, the link question was, we shared it before. I'll just put it up on the screen one more time to remind you everything we're talking about here. So this is the request a quote link, which you also could just go to their web, like Google Panda, click the request the quote button is the big button on the homepage, right? It's like the main thing they're calling you to do. And then they also have this estimate tool.
And if you don't end up winning the toolkits,
Oh yeah,
you can go to our shop, which is pandagm.com/shop. Super easy. Yeah.
let me real quick say that, and also screen share that to just show you the full, because that'll have the full list of all the toolkits you have, because we've been kind of just saying like, oh, how many are there, like which ones are they, but I'm sure the answer is here. So let's show that real quick before we go to, it's thinking. Okay, let's show this. We'll probably go little. It's slowly working itself out. Okay, so there it is, and I can make it a little bigger like that. Okay, so and there's you all have a look close video that studio produced, kind of like what we did here. So we have that game design toolkit. The Omni deck was the one you said can kind of just be used as a, maybe you don't even have to make a prototype. You just tell people what these dots mean, right?
Yep.
And actually that one's out of stock. Highly sought after.
Yeah.
Well, you can get a coin set. So that is like only coins, but just a sample of what your metal coins are like, probably. Then there's the wood kit that we just looked at. And the paper toolkit. So that one, and it says 2021. So about 3 years old. The 2019 toolkit is the one you were showing that has like foil. It's like rainbow finish. What would you call that multicolor foil?
Hollow foil.
Okay, gotcha. Non-transitive dice. What does that mean?
I can honestly tell you I've asked and I forgot. I don't remember what it means. Let me see. As we keep going through, I'll ask someone on our chat.
Dice A, rock, dice B, scissors, etc. So they're maybe not just pips. A dice tray example, a nice bag, a nice book. Okay, very good. So actually, I think we do have, other than the 2019 toolkit, I think you all gave us every toolkit you have. Unless you count the Omni deck. But awesome. That's exciting. Let me turn that off and just say goodbye to everybody. Oops. You don't want me to be so big. Okay. Yes. Thank you very much, Jay. Thanks, everybody, for your questions and watching along with us. It's good to hang out with you a little bit. And we'll see you on the flip side. Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.